Welcome to Roll for Geekiness. I'm Jonathan, and welcome to another episode of the Brewers Cauldron, the series where members of our team talk about some of their favorite Magic the Gathering decks and the cards and combos that make them tick. Now, by now you've probably gathered we play a lot of Commander around here, but we don't want you to get the idea that that's the only format that we're going to discuss during this series. So today, I'm going to talk about my Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, Oathbreaker deck. Now, if you haven't heard of Oathbreaker yet, I will put a link in the description below. But the easiest way to summarize it is that it's mostly like Brawl, and that is a 60-card singleton format that's intended to be played 1v1, so both players start with the usual 20 life. The biggest differences are that Oathbreaker is a vintage format, and you put a Planeswalker in your command zone, along with their signature spell, which is an instant or sorcery that you can always cast from the command zone. I gave myself an additional challenge when I built this deck, because you see, Oathbreaker hasn't quite caught on around here yet, so I'd like to bring a deck so that I can generate some interest in the format, but I'd also still like to play the deck every once in a while, so it has a 40-card sideboard that lets me play this deck as a commander deck. All that said, let's dig into the cards. Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, costs 2 generic, a red, and a white. She enters with 4 loyalty and has 3 activated abilities. For +1 loyalty, you get to create a 1/1 white core warrior creature token, and you may attach an equipment you control to it. For -2 loyalty, you get to look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them and put them in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. And finally, for -3 loyalty, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. So Nahiri already suggests some strong themes of warriors and equipment, both of which are solid themes in this color identity. I leaned into that by making Nahiri's signature spell, Steel Shaper's Gift. For 1 white, I can search for an equipment, reveal it, and put it in my hand. Now the rest of the deck follows suit, leaning very heavily into both of these themes, with warriors that care about other warriors, like Kargan Warleader, Herald of Dromoka, Archetype of Aggression, and Paired Tactician. Warriors that care about equipment, like Core Blademaster, Brunor Battlehammer, Akiri Fearless Voyager, and Champion of the Flame. Equipment that cares about other equipment, like Thrawn Power Suit, Golem Skin Gauntlets, and Brass Knuckles. And even some equipment that cares about creature types, like Obsidian Battleaxe and Stoneforge Masterwork. Given that this deck is meant to be played 1v1, I gave myself the additional challenge of keeping the mana cost low so that this deck can play fast. And when I play this as a commander deck, I continue to keep my curve low while adding a bunch more fun cards to these themes. Koll the Forge Master serves as my commander, and I add other fun things like Astor, Bearer of Blades, Lovisa Cold Eyes, Masterwork of Ingenuity, and Nahiri the Lithomancer. I'm sure that none of the cards that I mentioned come as a surprise to you if you've built a deck with either or both of these themes. And these are just the highlights. When you look at the full deck list linked below, I'm sure you're unlikely to find any more surprises. What I do enjoy about this deck is its dual nature, to either play as an Oathbreaker deck or a commander deck, and I feel it's a great way to champion a new format while still being able to play a deck in an existing format. As usual, link to the full deck list below. What you'll find when you look at this one, though, are a lot more categories than usual. You'll find some that are annotated as OB for cards that are in the Oathbreaker deck, and EDH for cards that get added for the commander deck. Of course, it's also one of my deck lists, so you'll see lists of cards that I have cut from the deck, maybe board of cards that I'm considering for the deck, and a wish list of cards that I would still like to add to the deck. All of those can obviously serve as lists that you could consider as for cards in your deck. But what cards and combos did I miss? Let me know in the comments below, or just share your favorite story about our friend Nahiri.